session. Today I wanted to talk about being strong and what we class as strength. And I'm not talking about physical, I'm talking about mental strength. There is a quote that I did share on my Instagram page, which I want to say again, which really helped me define what strength is. When we think of strength, we think of like, okay, we define it as usually as a rock or something like that. What I was looking at was the strength, and the quote was, for me, the strength is like a flowing river. So no matter what comes in life and stuff like that, you will carry on, keep on flowing. And I really liked that, and I felt like that is true to me, and that's what I define as my strength. I wanted to also look at in regards of strength and acceptance of your feelings. So when we talk about strength and saying about our acceptance and things like that, when I'm talking about acceptance, I'm talking about acceptance of feelings and things like that. So when we class someone as strong, right, usually I think personally it's bad when we say strength is not showing your emotion, strength is not crying. I think that is strength. Like, it takes a lot of courage to, whether it's loving someone, whether it's crying, or whether it's showing emotion, or whether that's strength cutting someone out your life, or whether that's strength at, how can I say it, like, strength is recognizing yourself and just recognizing that, okay, well, I'm strong enough to face this challenge, what do I do next? And strength is where you accept your feelings and you actually go ahead and absorb it. So for instance, like, I could say many times where I've had, let's say the typical one, like for instance, if you fail a job interview or they don't call you back, right? And this is just a minor version and a minor example of it, right? You were counting on this job, they didn't call you back, and let's say you were really counting on it and you didn't look at your other options and you start crying. That's fine, cry. But then you cry, you accept your feeling, but then you also have to be like, okay, what do I do next? What's my next game plan and things like that? Like, for me, I think it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to look at something and be like, okay, I know I can handle this, and I know I've got this. For me, when I look at strength and when I look at my days, like let's say I'm having a bad day and I'm in bed and I feel like I'm struggling with my mental health. So what I do is I'll be like, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then I'll be like, you got this. And just those 3 words really do help me, because that gives me power to believe in myself and move forward and do what I need to do. Whether it's a new challenge, whether it's something that I think that I need to try or I need to push myself. Like, strength is a form of self-love and self-discipline. I really do believe that. I will talk about that more in my next video, and I will describe that in detail, because there is a lot of things that I've got to say about that, and obviously I can't fit it all in one video. But in regards to strength, I do think there's so many factors of strength. Whether it's going through domestic violence, whether it's having your daily anxiety, whether it's your daily depression, it takes a lot of strength to pull yourself mentally out of a dark place, whether it's getting up, brushing your teeth, whether it's getting up, folding your bed. That takes a lot of mental strength. And I really do think that when you recognise that, okay, I need to make a change in myself, or I need to do something, that takes strength. Coming and looking at, like, let's say listening to a TED talk and, improving on yourself, that takes strength. Whether it's a big, massive obstacle in your life that's pulled you back, it takes strength to find a solution and be like, okay, I'm not going to be staying by that. But strength doesn't mean that you don't cry or you don't accept it or you don't have your moment. I came across it on Instagram. I don't know who it's by, but they said that you have a 5-second rule, right? And I think that, you need to kind of, like, contain it. So, for instance, you'll think about a problem for 5 seconds and you'll be like, okay, cool. I've had my emotional let out. I've done what I needed to do, and let's move on from this. I definitely think it does take a lot of strength to let go. Whether it's acceptance of the problem, whether it's strength of letting go, whether it's letting go of something big that's happened in your life, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's a failure of something, stuff like that. But you have to realize that all this, whether it's strength, like for me, strength was telling my story and put myself out there, filming a YouTube video. That takes strength. Like, at the end of the day, I was nervous. I was hell nervous. But you know what? I was like, you never try, you never know. And I really do hold on to that quote. And I feel like I also hold on to that quote. And I'm going to say it again, that strength is like water. You keep flowing. Where with a rock, it's stagnant, right? It's not going to move. There's going to be cracks and things like that. It just doesn't move. I really think that, personally, what's helped me is looking at strength like water. You carry on flowing. No matter what life chucks at you, you carry on going through these obstacles, flying through these challenges and stuff. Like, you know, instead of having that kind of why me or victimization, like I will go into that and talk about it in another video, because I do feel like that's just a whole nother topic. But I do believe that we've got strength. It takes strength to be like, okay, I have depression, I have anxiety. It takes depression, sorry. I think it does take a lot of strength to say that, okay, I need counselling, I need help, or I need to cut this person out of my life, or I need to move on from this issue. It takes strength, and strength is another side of strength that I believe is recognition. If you recognise a problem and you want to tackle it, that you're already ahead of a lot of people, and you're already strong enough to be like, I'm getting there and I'm taking the steps forward. Strength is moving forward regardless of what happens in your life. For instance, with me, I've lost multiple jobs. I got fired, and I was like, where am I? You know, I could have sat there in bed crying, and I did have those days. I had a day where I was in bed crying, thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm by myself. Like, why has this happened to me? There was just so many emotions, and the emotions were very, very negative. And then there was some days and some moments where I was like, you know what, I got this. And when you start seeing the progress of what you're doing and how you're moving forward, and you see that, you know what, I've flipping got this, I've got this strength, I've got this power, that's going to push you out of so many dark places. And you know what, it's baby steps. You take those little steps that are needed, you will go far. It takes, like Will Smith said, right, each day you have to lay a brick perfectly for your future. And if you lay that brick, soon you're going to get a wall. So it's not like thinking about long term and be like, yes, think about your long term, have long term goals and plans. I do as well. But I also take it short term. Like, I don't want to overwhelm myself and burn myself out where I think, okay, I've got strength, I've got power, I'm going to do all this, and just kind of come crashing down, to be honest. I really do believe that strength is what we make it and how we define it. Strength is not letting an obstacle stop you. Strength is pulling yourself out from a dark place and be like, you know what, I'm moving forward, I've got this. Strength is having good people around you on dark days, and they pull you out and they send you a message. I'm so thankful for the people around me. Like, they send me messages if I'm going through a dark place or anything. And I think it takes a lot of strength to be like, you know what, I need to get counselling. Or it takes a lot of strength, as I've said repeatedly, like, to, you know, go through what you're going through and recognising it. Like, you should be so proud of yourself if you've already done that, and if you've already moved forward. Like, that is flipping amazing, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I really do believe that. For me, like, I've had a lot of obstacles, and I've broke down on the phone crying and mentally, physically thinking that I cannot make it or I cannot do it. And I cried to my friends, but then I had that breakdown, I had my moment, and then I was like, you know what, if I give up on myself, then who's going to believe in me? It doesn't work like that. You have to think, okay, I think of it this way, yeah, right? And don't think of it as a negative thing. It's a positive thing, and it should push you, right? You come in this world alone, and you go out of this world alone, right? It's on you how you want to do, like, what you want to do and how you want to move forward with yourself, right? And at the end of the day, whether it's getting out of bed, or whether it's you know, I do mention this again and again, because especially with someone like that has depression and getting out of bed, or, you know, being in that negative mindset, it's so hard. Like, I cannot commend people enough. Like, if you know someone that's got depression and they're getting out of bed, they're doing their daily routine, commend them on that and tell them well done, and tell them that you're there for them. Like, that means a lot. And you know what, you'll see it step by step. They've got the strength to progress, whether it's a new venture, whether it's a new job, whether it's a new relationship, whatever it is, right? You've got strength, right? Whether it's heartbreak, whether it's moving to a new place, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage. And people don't recognize it enough. You show strength every day, whether it's trying a new workout, or whether it's something big as, let's say, for me, at one point, I nearly became homeless, right? For me, I was like, okay. And I was so lucky and so blessed that I've had people around me at that time that came in and helped me and whatnot. But a lot of it was down to me, and a lot of it was down to how I challenged myself mentally and how I thought I could move forward past this. And you know what? I want to find out what everyone else's definition of strength is. Like, please, like, do enlighten me and tell me, like, what's your definition of strength, and what's your example of strength, because it needs to be celebrated. It needs to be commended. Like, strength is such a powerful thing. I cannot tell you, and I cannot emphasize it enough, right? And I cannot repeat so many stuff. But strength is just an amazing thing, and strength is whether you challenge yourself to choose something new, right? For me, strength was losing multiple jobs, pulling myself, like, thinking, okay, how am I going to afford to eat? What am I going to do? Like, it took a lot of mental strength to sit there in front of a laptop and apply for new jobs, and you're like, hang on a minute, that might be easy. But sitting there, especially with someone that was in such a dark place, that was so hard for me to do, just sitting there applying for jobs. And then when I started seeing stuff, I saw there was like a wave that I was like, okay, I feel a bit more upbeat and positive about this. I want to carry on doing this. It's like, for instance, like, when you do a workout, right? You see that, okay, I'm so glad that you have that dreaded feeling of doing a workout, right? But when you're, like, let's say really anxious and stuff like that, and you've done that workout, and you feel that amazing excitement after it, and you feel like, yes, like, I got this, I'm on top of the world, and you feel like so proactive, and that you want to challenge yourself and you want to do something next, that is amazing. Like, strength is what we define it. Don't let anyone else define what strength means to you, because strength for me is a different journey and a different thing. It was me coming out of depression. It was me saving myself from being homeless. It was me bouncing back on my feet after losing multiple jobs and coming back out and being like, you know what, I'm a fucking warrior and I'm a queen and I got this. So yeah, like, strength, don't think of it as a stagnant thing. Strength is that you always keep fighting, you always keep going, and you always fight for what you believe in. Like, that takes a lot of strength, and you are amazing for that. That's it for now for this video. I will go into more experiences in other videos, and I will tell you about, like, moments where I felt like deepest, darkest moments and things like that, where I thought personally for myself that I couldn't make it or couldn't pull through on the other side, right? That was my moment of strength. But for now, this is all for the video, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for all the love that you guys given me recently. I do appreciate it, and it's motivating me to keep on going and doing what I'm doing. So I hope you have a lovely day. Please subscribe, and please follow me on Instagram, and have a lovely blessed day, and tune soon for next new video. Bye.